Now consider the third example, 3x square plus 7x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now here difference, both the earlier examples were solved and this example, there is one difference. What is that? In both earlier equation, it was x square, means coefficient of x square was 1. Here, x square has got coefficient 3x square. So now as usual, first you transfer this c to right hand side. 3x square plus 7x is equal to minus 1. Now we have to calculate what is our procedure to calculate third term, that is equal to half into middle term whole square. But that is the formula used only when coefficient of x square is 1. Now here we have coefficient of x square 3. So first we have to remove this coefficient of x square. So if we want to remove this into 3x square, naturally we have to, what we have to do here? Divide by 3 and divide by 3 each term. Suppose 5x square is there. To keep this x square, we have to divide 5. That means to keep 1x square, you have to always divide by the coefficient of x, whatever which is there. Okay. So now what remains? That 3 get cancelled. You get x square plus 7x by 3 is equal to minus 1 upon 3. And now we can calculate third term. What is our formula? Third term is equal to half into middle term whole square. That is half into, what is middle term now? It means coefficient of x, that is 7 by 3. 7 upon 3 whole square. So that is 1 into 7, that is 7 upon 2 3 6 whole square, that is 49 upon 36. So this 49 upon 36 we have to add to both sides now to make it make left hand side or to convert left hand side in the form a plus b whole square. So x square plus 7x upon 3 plus 49 upon 36 should be equal to minus 1 upon 3 plus, once you add the third term to the left hand side, immediately add to the right hand side, 49 by 36. So now this is whole square of whom? It is your plus this is square of 7 by 6 whole square. If you write expansion of this, you will get this term. Okay, is equal to. Now your denominator difference and addition. We can add or subtract only when denominators are same, isn't it? So that means we have to make denominator same. Now your simple procedure is you cross multiply. But what you do here, you don't cross multiply here. Because sometimes here big numbers will be get involved. Now see 3 into 49. Suppose here 25 is there, 25 into 49. So big number will come. Now what you do, see the denominator, here 3, here 36. Which is the bigger one? 36. You see that the table of 3 will contain 36, or else is there any number which when multiplied by 3 will give you 36? Yes, there is number. 12. 12 into 3 will give you 36. So what you do, to make that denominator common, you multiply here by 12. Once you multiply in the denominator by 12, immediately you multiply in the numerator. And plus 49 upon 36. Okay. So now this square will be as it is till we get this answer to the right hand side. Okay. So x plus 7 upon 6 whole square is equal to, this is now minus 12 plus 49 and here upon 36 means whole upon 36 we can write. So x plus 7 upon 6 whole square is equal to 49 minus 12. It is 7, 9 minus 2, 7, 4 minus 1, it is 3 whole upon 36. And now we can remove square, apply square. And therefore, x plus 7 upon 6 is equal to plus or minus root of 37 upon 36. Now you can see right hand side 37 irrational. This is perfect square. We can write square root of 36, isn't it? So what you can write next step now? See here, this x plus 7 upon 6 is equal to plus root 37 upon 6, or x plus 7 upon 6 is equal to minus root 37 upon 6. Now we can find x. So x is equal to, see, upon 6 upon 6. So only in numerator it is 37, directly minus 7 and whole upon 6. Or x is equal to minus root 37 minus 7 whole upon 6. And therefore roots are root 37 minus 7 upon 6, comma, minus root 37 minus 7 whole upon 6. So these are the roots of this equation. Okay. I shall solve one more now. Okay. The fourth example, 5x square minus 4x minus 2 is equal to 2. So in first step, convert c to the right hand side, means 5x square plus 4x is equal to 2. Now we cannot determine the third term. Y into 5 is there. We have to remove this coefficient. This means divide by 5, and here also 5. So what remains here? X square plus 4x by 5 is equal to 2 by 5. Now we can calculate the third term, which is to be added here, isn't it? Okay, I shall write like this, is equal to 2 upon 5. Now which third term is to be added? Now we can use that formula. It is half into middle term. What is middle term now? 4 upon 5 whole square. Now in bracket you can simplify. See, 2 1 da, 2 2 da. So that is 2 by 5 whole square means 4 upon 21. So this number now, that is third term, we have to add to the both sides so that it will be a complete square. Okay. So x square plus 4x upon 5 plus 4 by 25 is equal to 2 by 5 plus 4 by 25. So now this is, you can write in the form of, sorry, that was minus sign, no? Okay, this is minus. So this is whole square of whom? See, x square is square of x. Now here minus sign will come, and this is square of 2 by 5 whole square is equal to, now here 25, 5 5 are 25 we get, isn't it? So if you multiply this 5 by 5, the denominator will be same. So immediately you multiply in numerator. You know, we multiply kele, but numerator should be also multiplied by 5 plus 4 upon 25. So x minus 2 upon 5 whole square should be equal to 2 5 are 10 plus 4 whole upon 25 upon 25. So whole upon 25. So x minus 2 upon 5 whole square is equal to 14 upon 25. So what we will do now? Remove square, apply square root, and therefore x minus 2 upon 5 is equal to plus or minus. So when we remove square, we have to apply square root. Square root of 14 we cannot write, but we can write square root of 25, no? Now you can directly write like this. Square root of 14 upon how much? Square root of 25 is 5. We are directly written. So now the last part. So x minus 2 upon 5 is equal to root 14 upon 5 or x minus 2 upon 5 is equal to minus root 14 upon 5. And now therefore x is equal to root 14, this minus 2 will be plus 2 whole upon 5 or x is equal to minus root 14 plus 2 whole upon 5. And therefore roots are root 14 plus 2 upon 5, comma, minus root 14 plus 2 whole upon 5. So this is how the completing the square method is used to find the roots of quadratic equation. So far we have studied three different types of methods to find the roots of the quadratic equation. First factorization, then using quadratic formula, and third one completing the square method. In examination they ask you any two and you have to attempt any one. And in word problem, you can use any method. After obtaining that quadratic equation, you can use any method to solve the word problem. Okay. Now, to find use by completing the square method. So, I shall give you steps. Okay. Or you write down this and keep. See. For example, say ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. If we want to find the roots by using completing the square method, then to find roots by using completing the square method. Step 1. Take C to right hand side of equality sign. Step 2. Divide each term by a. Third, calculate third term by formula half into middle term whole square. Fourth step, add third term to both sides of equality sign. 5. Write LHS in the form a plus b whole square. 6. Remove square and apply square root. To RHS right hand side. 7th step, solve to get yes. So, if you want to find the roots by completing this method, always in first step transfer C take C to RHS of equality sign, means transfer C to right hand side, divide each term by A, coefficient of x square. Third step, calculate third term by formula how much? Which is the formula half into middle term whole square. So once that third term is obtained, fourth step, add third term to both sides of equality sign. Then fifth step, write LHS in the form of A plus B whole square. When you add that third term, naturally LHS will be A plus B whole square. Then next step, remove the square and mean square of the LHS and apply square root to right hand side, and then calculation part solve to get yes. So this is how this completing the square method is used to find the roots of quadratic by using quadratic formula. By completing the square method.